Hello everyone, I'm Angelo. I've been homeless in Northern Virginia for 2 months now, and I'm finally able to stop shooting on my cell phone so much and can shoot on my Canon PowerShot G7X because I just got a refurbished laptop. That's very cool. And I was thinking last night when I got the laptop out and I was trying to get it started about how to deal with problems, how to deal with troubling times, things not working out, losing money, basically how to get through difficult situations. That's as well as I can phrase it. And I was thinking about that yesterday because even with getting the laptop, and I was really glad about that, I'm like, thank goodness it's like this power I have now to be able to edit videos. I was wondering about all the downsides to having it now. I gotta deal with going back and forth. I'm not gonna store it in my car, I'm gonna store it at my parents' house. I also wonder, is the internet, the Wi-Fi gonna work well wherever I go? Because on my phone, usually the Wi-Fi is not good at all. And I was also dealing with the cafe I went to that closed down early. So I left there, went back to my parents' house, had to pick up some other stuff I forgot for the computer, ended up spending a bunch of extra money. The salad I got at the cafe, they asked if you want chicken or meat or shrimp on it. I assumed it was just like they were all the same price no matter what. The chicken was another $4. I wouldn't have gotten that if I knew that. But it also kind of doesn't matter because it depends on how you look at the situation. So even though I was frustrated yesterday, I ended up driving another 30 miles when I didn't want to. I wasn't able to fall asleep well at all last night. I don't know what exactly it was. I think maybe just having the laptop, looking at a computer again, and I couldn't fall asleep well last night. I literally didn't fall asleep till like 5 in the morning. I was laying in my car for like 5 hours trying to fall asleep, and I think it was because I was so like excited after looking at the laptop and just taking in this energy from the laptop screen. It was like an addiction for me, and it was almost too much. And then I felt bad that I didn't improve my Spanish that much, that in my head was all crowded with thoughts of the laptop and editing a video that I edited yesterday, or that I was starting to work on. And I couldn't quite finish because the cafe I was in was closing, and then McDonald's closed, and McDonald's, it was kind of awkward being there. Doesn't matter. The point is, the way you look at things changes the things you're looking at. So fortunately yesterday, that kind of day like 10 years ago would have put me in such a deep depression. I would have been miserable. I would have hated it. Fortunately today and yesterday hasn't felt so bad because it's like I already know. Whatever problems I have that I come across like that, you keep going, you maneuver around it, you don't worry about it too much because more things will come from the opportunity that results from that. The bigger the tragedy, the bigger the triumph. So even with those little setbacks, I had to drive an extra about 30 miles or so just because I forgot some things. I had to go to my parents' house and I drove far away. Oh, and the place I went to, I was hoping there would be a lot of people there. It would have been nice to hang out with people. The place was dead. They had like 3 customers. And of course it was, I guess, the day after New Year's, so that didn't help. A lot of little things just adding up. By the way, check this out. I'm so happy. Okay, wait, I'm not gonna show it yet. So I was thinking throughout this, thank goodness that I've learned to accept problems without demanding that I be able to fix everything, or I'm just a loser and I'm a failure. Because really, a day like that yesterday, maybe 10 years ago, maybe even more recently, definitely like earlier than that, I would have just been devastated. I would have been so miserable. I got like that all the time. My mood reeled, bouncing back and forth from highs to lows, and usually it was lows. There weren't many highs at all because I was always able to talk myself into thinking how this isn't going to last and this is fake and I don't deserve it and something terrible is going to happen no matter what. Couldn't handle it. So yesterday I was going through that and I was like, thank goodness. I know it's frustrating. I know I'm getting behind on the time. I'm wondering what I'm going to do with my laptop tonight. Got to make an extra trip to my parents' house. But I already know when you look for more opportunities, like more opportunities arrive. So my day would have been even worse if I was getting frustrated and angry yesterday. And same thing today. What happened? This is fairly simple. I was rendering video on my computer. It was taking like 40 minutes, and I had to get up and go to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, I'll put the laptop in sleep mode. Well, when you do that, I didn't realize it shuts off all the processes going. So even though I had a few minutes of like a 40-minute render for the video, when I came back, it said, oh, error, you know, file couldn't be filled or whatever. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta do this all again. But I knew right away, not even worth getting angry about. I thought I'd get out of here sooner. Now it's set me back delayed tonight. My mom called me, left a voicemail saying she wasn't waiting for me any longer to drop off the computer. She's going to bed. But I rendered the video again, and in the meantime, I'm like, okay, I'll just watch some Spanish language news reports. I gotta work on my Spanish. I did a few translations of words. I gotta do something to occupy my time, because I can't just let myself be a loser in this situation. Yes, I had failures, and yes, I lost many things. So I'm a loser in that sense, but not a loser as in I will sabotage myself, which I already struggle with so much. Now here's the other awesome thing I was thinking about. I was frustrated with, because I hate spending extra money, but I did buy something expensive. A $35 or so shirt. It's this right here. Okay, the zipper's not going down. Look at that. That is awesome. That is Harold Lloyd, one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, hanging from a clock tower in his famous movie Safety Last, a great comedy. I just saw it with a live orchestra a few weeks ago at the AFI Silver Screen in Silver Spring, Maryland. I love this movie so much. I love Harold Lloyd. Now today, just putting on this shirt, it's weird. I always kind of neglect my appearance because, you know, most guys, let me take this off, this will look better. Like a lot of guys, I don't even worry about what I look like so much. I just want to dress decently, shave every day, get a haircut basically, you know, on time to not let my hair grow out too long. But I really wanted to have a shirt that would convey some message, maybe to let people know, you know, that, hey, if you're a Harold Lloyd fan, let me know. Because I want to message something out there while I'm outside all the time. And I was at the gym today, and I was so excited to wear this Harold Lloyd shirt. I felt in the mirror like I'm connected to Harold Lloyd. He's hanging off my chest, a piece of film history. Yeah, there's a commercialism, you know, like pitfall, like cynicism about that. Like I overpaid for a shirt that somebody made on some website. But regardless, I was so happy. I was in such a better mood. I felt like I could talk to people easier. I could look them in the eyes easier just because I had this positive thing that I love on my shirt, Harold Lloyd. I couldn't get over it. Now I want more of these shirts. They have different ones on the website I got it on, but I absolutely love this, and I didn't realize that it would have this effect at all. I had no idea, but I'm so glad, because I had no idea it would have this effect at all. This car just drove down he's driving down the wrong side of the street. Or she. I was amazed, because like, I was thinking while I was looking at the mirror while I was exercising, how powerful it felt to have such a positive character. This guy who just tries and tries, and both Harold Lloyd himself doing that, and also the character he's playing, because the character in the movie is climbing up a clock tower in a stunt to get a bunch of new customers for the tailor shop he works at, because he wants to make a bunch of money to be able to, first of all, pay his rent, pay his bills. He's broke. Obviously I can relate to that. And also to be able to marry the woman he loves. And so it's like, who can't relate to that? And the whole movie is him trying and trying over and over, and that's what a lot of his movies are. And I love that. It's like, how could I not want to project that on an image on myself? So I thought that was awesome. So even though it's a lot of money, well worth it. I can't believe how good I feel in this, because, you know, what do most guys care about how they look? I don't trust guys who care a lot about how they look. I'm like, who's this conceited douchebag? You know, who's like, I'm great, look at my fade. By the way, a lot of guys with fades, white guys, we can't tell the difference between you and a Nazi. You have a Nazi fade. So just so you know, why would you go for that look? But anyways, it creeps me out, because I'm like, what guy would need to project like, yeah, I would take real good care of myself, I'm better than you. But along the lines of the video's topic, how to deal with difficult times, you know, you have to do extra things to overcome problems that the next person may not have to do. And it's even with more good things going on, like getting this laptop. Now that brings on a whole new set of problems of transporting it back and forth, spending money, getting places to sit at. You know, I'm kind of dreading going to the library, finding places to park, especially in Northern Virginia. It can be hard to park anywhere. And even at the library, like, the library charges for parking, or there's limited park. Anyways, what a shot behind me. Looks so much better. So it was a dilemma, a decision, even buying the laptop. I'm like, do I want to do it? Do I want to get out early, leave the house, leave my parking spot early enough to go there? Would the store be too busy? And would I have time to set up? Would I be too hassled to even use it? And I'd have to immediately drive further just to drop. But I know I can't let myself go down that spiral. And I'm not always good at preventing myself from doing that. Thank goodness the last 2 days been fairly good at just knowing, okay, just keep going, keep trying. Be nice to people. That's a big thing. Be nice to people. Understand your problems. Don't magnify them and make them worse than they are. See them as they are and construct a path to bettering your life. So even for me right now, that's just a little thing. I can't think big picture, like in a month, what I'll be doing. All I can think is, okay, this week, I've got a few things I can do. I knew even this video would be tedious for me to do, but I wanted to do it. And it's such a great spot here, even though these luxury homes are things I will not be able to afford for some time, and I wouldn't want to, because around here I'm helping raise other people's rents by doing that, and I won't do that. I cannot in good conscience do that. All you people who are too selfish to leave, you just want to enjoy the money you have, go somewhere else where the rents aren't as high, and stop driving up poor people's rents here. All right, getting off topic. Hey, I'm living what I talk about because I'm living in my car. It's a skill you have to practice, knowing how to make your problems meaningful. And because now I know the other benefit of, you know, just the outlook I have is now I know that when problems come up, so much better things result. Because now I know that when problems come up, so many better things result when my attitude's better, when I'm able to see opportunities that before I closed off from my vision, because I'm like, well, there's no point, so don't even try. Viktor Frankl, the psychologist who survived Auschwitz, he went through a horrible time, lost most of his family and his wife. He said in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, when suffering becomes meaningful, it ceases to be suffering. Because now you become worthy of it. Now there's a meaning behind it, a task to accomplish, some responsibility that you know you can work for and achieve something through it. So meaningless suffering is the real suffering. And by the way, he also says to suffer needlessly is not heroic, it's masochistic. And that's, hey, I'm a masochist big time when it comes to that. Lots of people are. Lots of depressed people are. People diagnosed with mental illnesses. And I know I put myself through needless misery, and I always do, and it's never gonna stop. It's just that now I can balance that out so much better with a sense of responsibility when I have problems, to know I can't just shirk everything, like just, you know, be bitter and say screw everything and give up. I want to, there's a tendency, but now I know, just keep going and keep trying. And believe me, when I try and do things, sometimes I humiliate myself. I felt a little humiliated about something today regarding someone that I know would not want me to feel humiliated, but I still felt that, like, oh, I put myself out there, and you know, it was a sort of a opportunity for like a media thing. Even that, sending out the message, say, hey, can I join, you know, this thing right here? It was a little embarrassing because I'm like, oh, I'm not part of the in group of this, and you know, how are they going to trust me? They're going to think I'm some fool on YouTube. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter, because ultimately people respect people who try. And here's the other thing. Once you try, you go after the goal, you let go. You don't attach your happiness to whether you achieve the result, because if it didn't work then, it didn't need to. So you can keep trying. So now I have all these other options now that I have a laptop. But if I frustrate myself and make myself miserable, then I'm going to really shut myself off from opportunities for making videos. because I'm gonna think, and I always tend to think this, oh, it's gonna take too long to edit this video, and now that's even more of a dilemma since I don't have a home where, think about it, just if I want to get up, go to the bathroom, I'm like, do I trust my stuff here? You know, leaving it on the table. But I know, like, it's a very worthy thing to accomplish now and to go after. So there's so much more that's meaningful to deal with these problems, because I can have an outlook. Thank goodness I can have it. It took a lot of work, a lot of years, a lot of times, like, I was just struggling to feel anything good. Like when I was a late teenager, early 20s, my struggle was I was just trying to learn how to feel anything good about anything. Like I was just trying to learn to feel my emotions, because I just learned, like, don't get in trouble, just, you know, keep to myself. And but it ended up being, you know, incredibly difficult and devastating to me. And of course, that's always my temptation, is just keep to myself, just screw everybody, just be by myself. I don't want to deal with anybody. And there's still a big part of that I struggle with. Anyways, so Viktor Frankl, his saying, when suffering becomes meaningful, it ceases to be suffering. That's a very worthy idea to hold on to. And also, he asks in his book that we may become worthy of our suffering, meaning that it doesn't become meaningless, our suffering, and then it truly becomes just masochistic and self-destructive, but instead it can be something empowering. So even little things like the last 2 days was empowering, and I'm so excited about this shirt. Oh my goodness, I had no idea I could care this much about a shirt. I've never cared about a shirt before. But this finally, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I love putting out this positive character into the world. And there's something visceral about it. He's hanging off my chest. That is so awesome. Harold Lloyd's one of the greatest filmmakers, and so who knows, maybe a Harold Lloyd fan will come up to me and say, hey, like, I'm a Harold Lloyd fan too. So I gotta get more shirts like that, even though I am flat broke again. It's something like maybe like once every 1 or 2 weeks I can buy a shirt. I don't know if I can even do it that often. Get rid of illusions about how bad things are and understand things for how they are, and then construct a path to make things better. Read Viktor Frankl too, he's a great author. Again, that saying is, when suffering becomes meaningful, it ceases to be suffering. It becomes something worthy to strive for, that meaning. So thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe for more videos.